Hello, I am a solicitor at Stowe Family Law, and in this video we will look at what a prenuptial agreement is. Prenuptial agreements are not legally binding in England and Wales, but can be put in place to offer some protection for finances and assets, providing they adhere to certain criteria. What is a prenuptial agreement? A prenuptial agreement, also known as a prenup, is a written contract that details the assets owned by each person in a relationship, like money, property, businesses, and investments, and explains what will happen to them if the couple divorces. Prenups must be drawn up and signed before the couple gets married. They are primarily used to protect the wealth of one or both people in a marriage and to ring-fence any current wealth, businesses, inheritance, and future income expected to be gained during the marriage. Prenups are becoming increasingly popular, especially for people entering into second or third marriages. People have them in place to ensure that assets they have already built up or inheritance savings for children are protected. In 2010, the Family Court in England and Wales ruled that courts should give effect to any prenup that is freely entered into by each party, as long as they had full knowledge and appreciation of its implications. Whether the prenup will be upheld depends, however, on the circumstances of each party at the time of separation and whether the prenup reflects these circumstances and is fair. What are the criteria for prenups? Prenups must adhere to a set of criteria to hold any weight in a divorce negotiation. These are: it must be signed at least 28 days before the wedding. There must be full and frank financial disclosure by each person. It should be entered into freely and willingly by both partners. Both individuals must have received independent legal advice. Lastly, the contract must be drawn up by a lawyer. How do you get a prenup? Providing that you and your future spouse both agree that you should get a prenup. The first step is for both of you to get independent legal advice. It's advised that you start this process at least 6 months before your wedding, to allow time for legal processes and negotiations to take place. If you have particularly complex assets, or there's an international element to your relationship, the legal processes may take longer. It is important to allow extra time if this is the case. For example, if one or both of you have assets in another country, or you intend to move abroad when you are married, you will need to inform your lawyers well in advance of your wedding. Your solicitor will ask for full financial disclosure. This is then summarized in a financial schedule, which is attached to your prenup document. The financial schedule will detail your income, assets, and your liabilities, as well as any financial resources that you might have in the foreseeable future. For example, you may be expecting to receive a sum of money from the death of a relative in the near future. This will be included in the schedule. It is important that you provide all this information to your solicitor so that the prenup can be drawn up properly. By giving full disclosure, you will also minimize the risks of being accused of hiding assets. The agreement will then be drafted, reviewed by both people's solicitors, and then must be signed by you and your partner. It is recommended that you review the agreement at least every 5 years, or when significant events occur, such as the birth of a child. By keeping your prenup up to date and accounting for any changes in your circumstances, the contract will have a higher likelihood of being accepted by the court in the event of divorce. This is because it will truly reflect your situation at the time of your divorce. How long does a prenup last for? Prenups are living documents, which will last as long as your marriage lasts. They need to be kept up to date with any major financial changes or altered circumstances. You should seek help from an expert family lawyer and, if necessary, a financial advisor if there are any significant changes to your money, property, or family structure. These professionals will ensure that your prenup continues to be fair and reasonable in your current circumstances. Are prenups legally binding? Prenups are not legally binding in England and Wales, but if you have met the qualifying criteria and the contract is up to date, it's more likely that the family court will uphold your agreement. However, the fairness of the agreement at the time of the breakdown of the marriage will also be considered by the family court, as well as the current and future needs of the separating couple and any children. The importance of legal advice. If you and your partner have decided to get a prenup, it is vital that both of you seek independent legal advice. A family lawyer can help you with the financial disclosure process, ensure you have the relevant paperwork, and confirm whether the prenup meets the qualifying criteria. This will help them to determine whether it is likely to be upheld by the court if the marriage breaks down. For more Stowe talks, how-to videos, and further free resources, visit stowefamilylaw.co.uk/support.